Hey, Chandra, how you doing? Well, first you misunderstood the video completely. And then I disagree with you on one of your last statements. Nowhere in that video was the woman talking about putting your man ahead of your God if you believe in a God. She said nothing of the sort. She was talking about human relationships. She was not talking about spiritual relationships. So for you to interject God in this situation is you creating something that wasn't there at all. If you believe in a deity, then that's perfectly fine. Believe in your deity and put your deity first. But what the young lady was talking about was human relationships, about how people will put their kids, put mothers and fathers and cousins and brothers and sisters ahead of the man. Now I want you to think about this. Everybody's going to leave you. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, they will go and live their own lives and do their own things. You left your parents and went and did your own thing. Your children will grow up and they will leave you and they will go off and they will live their own lives. Trust me, mine are 27, 24, and 22. I got to chase them jokers down just to have a conversation with them because they're out living their own lives. They're doing their own thing. The only person who is trying to live with you for the rest of your life is the person who is to become your spouse. That's the only person who wants to live with you until you die, just like your parents wanted to live with each other until they die. Now, if you put everybody else before that person, what is the benefit of that person being with you for the rest of your life when a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a child can come in and disrupt everything that y'all have built together? It is not that we don't make sacrifices for our family or sacrifices for our children, but when you put people outside of the relationship ahead of the people inside of the relationship, you are going to break down that relationship that you desire to have for the rest of your life. Now, yes, a job is not forever and people can leave you and all that sort of thing. Relationships may not last. But don't let one of the reasons of the relationship not working or not lasting is because you put that person in second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. Because when you put them in that place and they're not at the top, your main concern, you're going to lose that relationship. And then while you're saying that, oh, but my son or my daughter or my brother, my sister, that's family, they're going to be there forever. But when you're laying at night by yourself, when you're going on the dates by yourself, when you're sitting at home and something happens and you're sad and you're by yourself, you don't have those people that you can lean on. You don't have those perfect people that are working with you. You go through something financial. If you're going through it and you have that mate and y'all are down for each other, y'all both work through it together. But when you're going through something, you got to lean on your kids or lean on your parents or lean on your brother or your sister. Resentment starts to build up. That person who has said they want to be with you for the rest of your life, they're in it with you together. To do it, to get it done, to make the relationship work. That's what the person was trying to instill, trying to say. And that even when I coach people on relationships, that is what I tell them. That is what I tell them because it's the only relationship, human relationship, where somebody's trying to be with you through thick, through thin, through goodness, through badness, through ups and downs. Your rest of your family is not. They're only going to do as much as they can do until it hurts their household. Until it hurts their household, then they'll stop. Trust me, they'll stop. And she said that love ain't a job. This is another reason why so many relationships fail. Because you'll give more to the job that pays you money than you will give to the relationship that is supposed to be with you forever, that's supposed to bring you all the happiness that money can't bring. That extra part of happiness, you're already a happy person. And then that extra part that just seals the deal, they're there to bring you that companionship, that love, that intimacy, that camaraderie, that friendship. Your job can never do that. And the job will get rid of you. So when you treat the job more important than you're treating the person, then why would the person still be there? What's the benefit to them? What's the benefit? You know that most, especially back in the day, but even still today, most of the people, a lot of the people that I've coached, one of their biggest issues is that both of them spend too much time and energy giving to the job and not giving to each other. Love is a job. It is a job. Because just like a job, if you don't show up on time, consistently, you may get fired. If you don't dress appropriately, you may get fired. If you don't act appropriately, you may get fired. If you don't fulfill the requirements of that job, you may get fired. Relationship is the same. If you are absent, you will get fired. If you are letting yourself go, you might get fired. If you are causing disruptions with your personality and attitude at the job, in the relationship, you may get fired. If you don't do as much as you would do for a job, for a relationship, you will then get fired. And you say people can leave you. This is how you prevent people from leaving you. Is to treat the relationship more importantly than the job. The reason why you treat the job more important in most people's senses is because the impact of failure is more immediate. You see, the impact of failure at a job, and you lose that job, you can only act up for so long, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you're out. When you're out, now you can't pay for your roof, can't get the food, can't get the clothes, can't put gas in the car, can't pay your bills. So the impact is very immediate. The sad part about it is that we take relationships for granted because the impacts are not always immediate and they're not always seen because they grow slowly. The tension grows slowly. The issues grow slowly. The frustration, the anger, all those things, the resentment grows slowly. And you went from spending all this quality time together to all of a sudden y'all don't want to be around each other. They don't want to be around you anymore. The things that didn't get on their nerves about you is now getting on their nerves, and it's small things. It's some small things that get on your nerves and it bothers you. And those things start to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And they're growing because attention to the job of relationship, the job of love is not being taken care of. You're not doing the things that made him or her fall in love with you. You're not doing the things that him and her found friendship with you. You're not doing the things that him and her found intimacy with you. You're not doing the things that him or her found fun with you and appreciation of you and honor of you and admiration of you. You stop doing all those things. All the things you did in the beginning, you stop. And then as they change, it's like a job changes, You went from being DIY to being automated. And you got to switch with the automation. You got to switch with the updates. You got to change the process as the process of the job changes. The person and the relationship is the same. Every experience you have changes the relationship. And if y'all not changing together, then you start to go further and further and further and further apart. So it's a job to make sure that you come together. And I think the problem is you probably don't like the word job because it just sounds so cold. But when you relate it to a job, you can understand what I'm saying. So you got to work on a relationship. I don't quote Farrakhan that often, but there was one quote he said in the 80s that has stuck with me. He said, marriage is not the beginning of the relationship. He said, marriage is not the end of the relationship, but it's just the beginning of the relationship. And you have to work to keep that relationship going. If you're not working, which is relatable to a job, to keep the relationship going, you will find that the job will fail. Just like the job will fail, just like you can get fired or the company can file bankruptcy and fail, so will the relationship. The job lets you know that there is an end to it. There is a retirement. There's an end. There's a point where you will not come here anymore, whether it's through firing or retirement. But there's an ending point to the job. The only ending point that anyone should be desiring in a relationship is death. That's it. You want to be in this thing with this person for the rest of your life. And if you don't take it as seriously as you would take a job or any other relationship with any other person, then you're destined to either have it complete abject separation of failure or to have an emotional, mental separation of failure and misery while you're still in the same company of the person. At that point, you've just found yourself in a situation where you have tolerable misery, and that's all you're doing is tolerating your misery. Don't know if you'll agree with me. Doesn't really matter because we each have our own thought process, but I hope that this does help you or open your mind up a little bit. So you have a great day, and remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.